Hey, what's up everyone? So I want to start today's video with a quick question. When was the last time it rained at your place and you just watched all that water run off your roof, down your driveway and straight into the storm drain? Because that happens to most of us every single time it rains. And honestly, it kind of drives me crazy now that I know what I know. Because here's the thing. The average home roof can collect somewhere between 600 and 1,300 gallons of water from just 1 inch of rainfall. 1 inch. And most of us are just letting all of that disappear. Meanwhile, we're paying water bills, dragging hoses around the yard, and wondering why our gardens are struggling during dry spells. So today I'm going to show you how to build a dead simple rain harvesting system for about $10. And I want to be clear, this isn't some complicated off-grid survival setup with pumps and filters and 1,000 feet of pipe. This is something you can put together in a single afternoon, with stuff you can grab at any hardware store, or honestly maybe already have sitting in your garage. And it can collect up to 50 gallons of clean usable water from a single decent storm. Let's break down what you're actually going to need. The biggest piece of this whole system is your collection barrel. Now if you go to a big box hardware store and buy a brand new 55-gallon rain barrel, you might spend $80, $90, sometimes over $100. That's not what we're doing today. Instead, you want to look for a used food-grade plastic barrel. These are the same barrels used to ship olives, pickles, juice concentrate, soy sauce, all kinds of food products. Once the food is gone, companies often sell these barrels off for next to nothing. Check your local Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or even call up a local car wash, restaurant supply company, or food distributor. I've seen these go for $5. Sometimes people give them away for free just to get rid of them. You want a 55-gallon barrel with a removable lid if possible, and you want to make sure it previously held food products, not chemicals. That part is really important. Never use a barrel that held anything industrial or chemical for water collection, especially if you're going to use that water anywhere near plants you're going to eat. Okay, so let's say you found your barrel. Here's everything else you need. You need a drill with a hole saw attachment, a spigot or a bulkhead fitting which runs about $3 to $5 at any hardware store, some window screen mesh which you might already have lying around, a piece of downspout diverter which is just a little plastic attachment that goes into your existing gutter downspout and redirects water into your barrel, and a little bit of silicone sealant. That's basically it. Total cost, depending on what you already have, is going to run you somewhere between $5 and $15, so $10 is a very realistic target. Now, let me walk you through the actual build, because this is where people sometimes overcomplicate things, and I want to make it as simple as possible. First, find your location. You want to place your barrel directly next to a downspout on your house. The closer to the downspout, the better, and you want the ground to be relatively level. If you have a slight grade sloping away from your house, even better, because that helps with drainage around the barrel itself. A lot of people will also set their barrel up on a small platform, like a couple of cinder blocks or a wooden pallet, and the reason for that is simple physics. The higher your barrel sits, the more water pressure you're going to get out of your spigot. Even just 6 inches of elevation makes a noticeable difference if you're filling watering cans or connecting a drip hose. Second step. Drill your spigot hole. You want this hole near the bottom of the barrel, but not at the very bottom. Leave about 2 or 3 inches from the base so sediment can settle below the spigot without clogging it. Use your hole saw to cut a clean hole, then insert your bulkhead fitting or spigot hardware and use the silicone sealant around both sides of the fitting to make it watertight. Let that cure for at least 24 hours before you run any water through it. Third, create your inlet and overflow. On the top of your barrel, cut a hole for the water to come in. If your barrel has a removable lid, you can cut right through the lid. Make this hole big enough to fit over or connect to your downspout diverter. Then take your window screen mesh and secure it over the top of the inlet opening. This is one of the most important steps, and people skip it all the time. That screen is what keeps leaves, debris, insects and mosquitoes out of your water. Mosquitoes will absolutely breed in a standing water barrel if you give them a chance, so don't skip the screen. You also need an overflow port. This is just a hole near the top of the barrel where excess water can escape when the barrel is full. Without this, when your barrel fills up during a big storm, the water will just push against the lid and potentially tip things over or flood around the base of your house. Drill a hole near the top, insert a short piece of PVC pipe, or even just a rubber grommet, and run a hose from that overflow point away from your foundation. You can direct overflow water toward a garden bed, a swale in your yard, or just away from the structure. Fourth step, connect your downspout diverter. This little piece of hardware is designed to fit right into your existing gutter downspout. It has a screen inside it that catches debris, and when it rains, it redirects the water flow out through a side port and into your barrel. When the barrel is full, the diverter automatically lets water flow back down the normal downspout path. You just cut a small section out of your downspout, snap the diverter in, connect the hose to your barrel inlet, and you're done. Most of these diverters come with instructions, and they're genuinely one of the easier parts of this whole project. And that's it. That's the whole system. I told you it was simple. Now let me talk about the water itself, because I know some of you are already wondering, is this water actually safe? And the answer is, it depends entirely on what you're using it for. Rainwater collected off a roof is not automatically drinking water, and I want to be straight with you about that. Roofs can have shingles that leach chemicals, bird droppings, debris, and depending on where you live, air pollution can affect what's in the rain itself. So this water is not something you should be drinking without proper filtration and testing. But here's what it's absolutely perfect for: watering your garden, watering your lawn, washing your car, filling a bird bath, flushing toilets if you want to get into some more advanced plumbing projects down the road, washing tools and equipment. For all of these uses, harvested rainwater is actually better than tap water in a lot of cases because it doesn't have chlorine or fluoride in it, and your plants generally respond better to it. A lot of serious gardeners and people who keep houseplants swear by rainwater for exactly this reason. Now let's talk about the math, because I love this part. A 55-gallon barrel filled from a single storm is not a small amount of water. The average American uses about 80 to 100 gallons of water per day for all household purposes. Now obviously you're not replacing all of that with rainwater from one barrel, but think about outdoor watering specifically. Garden irrigation, lawn care, and outdoor water use accounts for something like 30% of total household water use nationally. And in drier climates, or during summer months, that number can spike way higher. If you water a typical vegetable garden plot, say 10 by 10 feet, you're using roughly 1 to 2 gallons per plant per week, depending on the crop and your climate. A 50-gallon barrel can keep a substantial garden going for a week or more between rains without touching your tap at all. And if you really want to scale this up, nothing is stopping you from linking multiple barrels together. You can connect 2 or 3 55-gallon barrels in series using short sections of hose and bulkhead fittings, so when the first barrel fills it, automatically overflows into the second one. Some people do this and end up with 150, 200 gallons of storage capacity for under $30 total. It's one of those projects where the more you build, the better the return. Let me also address something quickly, because depending on where you live, there's an important legal consideration. A small number of states, Colorado being the most well-known example historically, have had restrictions on rainwater harvesting because of water rights laws. The good news is that most of these laws have been updated and relaxed significantly in recent years, as drought conditions have made water conservation a priority. Colorado now allows up to 110 gallons of residential rainwater storage per household. Most other states have no restrictions at all, and some states actually offer rebates and incentives for installing rain collection systems. So just do a quick search for rainwater harvesting laws in your specific state before you build, just to cover your bases. One more thing I want to mention, and this is about placement and maintenance. Put your barrel somewhere you can actually access it easily. That sounds obvious, but I've seen people tuck a rain barrel in a super inconvenient corner and then basically never use it, because getting water out of it is a hassle. You want it close to where you're going to use the water, close enough that a garden hose can reach your beds, or close enough that you can fill a watering can without it being a workout. For maintenance, once or twice a year just empty the barrel completely. Give it a rinse with a very diluted bleach solution, let it dry and put it back in service. Also check your screen regularly and clean out any debris that builds up on it. That's genuinely all the maintenance it requires. These barrels can last 20 or 30 years if you take basic care of them. And if you live somewhere that gets hard freezes in winter, drain your barrel before the first freeze of the season. Water expands when it freezes, and it will crack your barrel and damage your spigot if you leave it full. A lot of people just flip the barrel upside down for winter storage and set it back up in the spring. So that's the whole system. $10. One afternoon, 50 gallons of free water every time it rains. It's one of those projects where you do it once, and then you just have it working quietly in your backyard every time a storm rolls through. And every gallon you collect is a gallon you're not paying for, and a gallon that isn't running off into the storm system, carrying lawn chemicals and fertilizer into local waterways. If you build one of these, I genuinely want to see it. Drop a picture in the comments or share it on whatever platform you're watching this on and tag me. And if you want to see the more advanced version of this, where I connect 3 barrels together and add a basic gravity-fed drip irrigation line to a raised bed garden, that video is already up, and I'll link it at the end of this one. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.